Could you please wait till you're cued? This is the All-Star Panel, and we're joined now. That was Burlap, by the way, a.k.a. Bruce. Rick and Bruce join us now for the. You're right. The sun. I mean, beautiful this morning. Nice sun shining. Beautiful day. Oh, wait a minute, guys. Let's just do this. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's just go with no notes. The heck with the notes. Let's just improvise. Let's just
That's
wing
what we
it.
do every week.
Oh. let's just.
Thank God Amanda does it.
Because it seems like it's been, what, months ago since Ronnie Jackson said, I will pull my name for nomination of VA Secretary.
Yeah.
So how long ago was that? Was that months ago?
A lifetime ago.
Yeah, it wasn't even in, yeah. So much happened in between.
NOCO. North Korea.
Let's go there. Let's go there. I mean, I didn't want to go there yet because I'm trying to reel in the passion I have for that. I don't know if you had an opportunity to hear my opening monologue, but I just think, I guess where I'm going to, first I despise, I'm going to try to say nice words. I despise MSNBC, CBS, and all these snotty damn kids. Okay, I
So something
despise
hasn't.
that.
Some things never change.
Yes. Now that being said, because I use this, I'm gonna go with this, and I see you guys there all the time when we go to the Veterans Day celebrations,
Right.
remembrance. Okay.
Independence Day, Memorial Day.
I like visual pictures, and several years ago, you would go and you would see the veterans that would wear the hat that said World War II. Mm-hmm. Now when you go, you don't see those hats anymore.
Vietnam.
They're not there. You would go, and then they slowly got, not replaced, but they slowly went here, but you would see the hats that say Korea.
Korea.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, when you go this year, last year, slowly those hats are gone. You see what I'm saying? Because this is 1950s, right?
Yep.
Slowly those hats. And now you see the Vietnam hats. And the reason I'm saying this, I don't have the note, but we're looking at about 33,000 Americans that gave their life
In North Korea.
in the Korean War.
Yeah.
And today, instead of all of them even doing any kind of tribute to these men and women that died over there, that the significance of the peace when the president of South Korea stepped on North Korean soil. Because I get passionate about it because we know that according to Kim Jong-un in North Korea, the war wasn't over.
Right.
It was a truce.
Right.
It was a ceasefire. And what happened yesterday for 33,000 Americans that gave their life, not counting the support back home, their families that are alive today? No, these guys are analyzing what tricks is Kim Jong-un going to do? How can we really try? Wait a minute. Let's slow down. Let's just have one day. You know what I'm saying?
They just don't want him to. They just don't want Trump to have any success at all. I think they're all quietly sitting back there going, "Man, I hope this doesn't."
Oh, how
work.
mad were they last
Man,
night?
I hope he doesn't get
Yes,
the Peace Prize.
how mad are they? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? How
Exactly.
angry are they?
They're all just sitting back there hoping.
And remember when all this started, it was like, oh, we're going to be dragged into nuclear war in a heartbeat here. The guy is just a nut.
I said this morning, was it fire and fury? Was it I will wipe you off the face of the earth? Was it
I know what it was.
Rocket Man?
It was my button's bigger than your button.
No, it's rhinestone and burlap.
Was it my button's bigger than your button? What was it? You know what I think it was?
What?
The women's unified hockey team. I mean, come on. I mean, no, you would think if you watch these other shows. Yeah.
And if it had been curling, I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
If curling team, that's a piece. I mean, that's peaceful. Hockey, there's violence there. So
Kim Jong-un's sister at the Olympics.
Yeah,
that
did
probably was.
And when she gave Pence that ice stare,
Yeah.
that ended it right there.
Yeah, it was over.
Yeah.
Turn out the
sanctions.
lights.
I think sanctions really had an impact.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Ding Dong.
He said to the South Korean president, he said, Could you send me back like with a parting gift, like one of those Kias? I like those Kias. It's faster than my bullet train. And then he said, you know, this black print. What can we do about that? When can we get a TJ Maxx or something up here?
Fill the back,
Yonging
fill the back seat with Twinkies, please.
Right, exactly.
No, moon pies.
Why do you think serious moon pies? All right. Oh, you're funny.
Well, that's what the guy's name is.
All right, okay. I don't have the.
Or is
Okay.
it Moon Jai?
I don't know what it is. I just go moon.
I'm just
leave it
calling
there.
it moon pie.
It's moon. Okay. So serious. Let's flip a little bit. Why do you think? And I want the same question here. Why do you think Kim Jong Un is actually stepping this way? Why do you think?
The sanctions. I think that, you know, the pressure economically has really been put to him, you know, in ways in the past it has not, and I think it's all just culminated with his lousy economy. He wants to stay in power. I mean, and so he needs.
Wants to stay in power. Say that word again, because that's not. I'm not on one of those days. And a whole list of things put together is what?
A confluence?
compilation.
Thank you, Bruce.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and you? What say you?
Well, I think it's a combination of
Compilation.
compilation. Now, I think Pompeo, when he was over there, assured him that he would stay in power, and the family wouldn't suffer any disgrace. I mean, they're big into that, aren't they?
Yeah, saving face.
Saving face.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think Pompeo made that point to him. Said, you know,
You get to keep your job and your face.
Well, wait a minute. You know what?
Right.
People get sometimes confused with understanding and accepting. I don't accept that, but I understand what they're saying. You know,
Right.
that's not what I would accept it, but it's, you know, it's not. I won't accept the way that works, but I understand why they need to do it for them. Not everybody lives like us. But go ahead.
No, I think it was a combination of the sanctions and the fact that Pompeo went over there and assured him on Easter when they brought him in, you know, by parachute. They parachuted dropped him in behind the lines.
Tuck and roll. Remember?
That's right, Mannix roll.
Yeah,
Da-da-da-da.
the tuck and roll. All right.
They dropped him in, and you know, he assured him that said, "Look, you know, we're going to make this happen." And
You know what he did?
Oh boy, I thought we were.
I had a visual. That's
flipping
right.
and
right?
getting serious.
So he said, here's what happened. Pompeo comes out of the plane. He hits the ground. Tuck and roll. He gets up. He goes like this. Then he says, take me to your leader. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's what the media thinks.
I know, right? Sounds like Open Line Friday.
You know what?
He's got that smirk again.
Kim Jong-un's bullet train is so slow.
How slow is it?
The Kimchi Express.
It is so slow a hobo could jump it while moving.
Oh, that's pretty slow.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Anyway,
So, do you think, if it all comes together, he will get the Nobel Peace Prize?
No.
¿Por qué no?
why?
I don't know. They may give him a complimentary, you know, Kanye gold chain for his neck. Let's see, did I say
In his
that?
latest album?
Yeah. I think Kanye's latest album he may get, you know. I don't know. There is talk of the four. Xi, President Xi, is that his name, from China, right?
Yeah.
Moon Chi from South Korea, Kim Jong-un, and President Donald Trump. Okay, there's talk of a four-way Nobel Peace Prize, and I'm just.
Who's the fourth?
Moon, Kim, Xi, Trump.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Two
okay.
Koreans,
Sorry.
China,
Yeah.
and
China.
Yeah.
And
China.
there's talk of that.
Lindsey Graham assured it on the Fox and Friends this morning.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what?
Lindsay
I want
knows.
to be in the newsroom. I want to be in the newsroom. I'd like to be right in the corner of the newsroom with them actually going in those conference rooms. All those smug little kids that throwing stuff at the wall, saying, "Now what the hell are we going to do tomorrow?"
Yeah, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're
You know
going to come
what I mean?
out
How
with
are they
some
gonna-
kind of fake news that's going to try to disrupt any kind of peace talks that Trump and Un have.
Hey, he came out and said they want denuclearization. They came out
On the
he
entire
stepped-
peninsula.
Yes, they came out and said no more war in Korea. They came out and stepped across each other's line there, which,
First
some
time
people, history. First time in history since the war.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? First time in history since the war. And MSNBC was leading with Cohen and Trump, and Cohen pleading the Fifth Amendment.
Seriously?
Yeah, that was their lead this morning. No, that was
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're going to roll Stormy
Yeah.
back out for another
Oh, they
week.
did.
Yeah.
That was their 20 minutes.
Good night.
No, I watched it at 6 a.m.
Well, going back to Pompeo, do you think one of the quid pro quos for all this nice stuff was, no more nuclear program? I mean, absolute certainty.
Absolutely.
No more nuke.
Yeah.
nuke.
And we get
And-
we get to come in and check it.
Yeah, we get inspectors in there immediately. We don't give you 6 weeks, 6 months.
Like they did with Iran.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what the media will not be able to take, and we got a lot of subjects today, but the media will not be able to take the mustache, Pompeo, and Donald Trump completing that peace process over there. They won't accept it, and how they what they do with it, I don't know. But
I think they've given up on Pompeo, but Bolton, I think, are going to keep going after it. He's a hothead, a warmonger.
Right. No, I don't think they've given. I don't know. All right, let's switch to Pompeo. Pompeo today is the Secretary of State, and he's all over the place, and he's on the plane.
Now Bolton doesn't have to be confirmed.
No,
he's in on it.
National
Yeah,
Security
he's done.
Advisor.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Yeah. Pompeo is in NATO. He's sitting down with NATO, and you're
right. He's already there.
Yeah.
Brussels.
So Pompeo is going to let's just try to make sure we direct. Pompeo is going to. He's the Secretary of State now, confirmed. Okay, confirmed as Secretary of State, and I'm pretty upset. And I won't dwell on it with Johnny Isaacson. I know we're in Georgia. We sit in Georgia. He is the senator of Georgia, but I'm pretty upset with him.
Why?
He apparently he was giving a eulogy for a friend.
Close friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
you know,
Don't
tough.
get too sensitive on me, because here's the thing. All right. You give the eulogy at 2 and you say, hey, I got to be on the next flight out at 3:15 because I got to vote for Secretary of State because we're about to make a big deal in North Korea and we need a Secretary of State. I know how insensitive that sounds if Isaacson, everything is on the level. But this guy is giving a eulogy. We have a committee that cannot get Pompeo to the floor. And we have to rely on Chris Coons, a Democrat,
do you think that
to
was a
change
setup?
it was all a setup. Every bit of it's a setup. It's all a setup. And then Coons comes out and says, oh, my great friend Johnny called me and we shared a tearful moment on the phone. And I said I understood. I lost a good friend of mine last year and I must go in here for my good friend and just vote not
And then
president.
you got the little Corker.
Not little Bobby Corker.
Little Bobby Corker.
Little Bobby Corker.
What has Trump done, man? Little Bobby Corker. So anyhow, so we have to have a Democrat change his vote to not president to get the guy on the floor. He's Secretary of State. Let's talk about what I think is not almost as equivalent for you and I at home as North Korea. It's somebody cleaning out the deep state of the State Department, and I think Mike Pompeo's the guy. And I
agree.
All right.
Yeah,
I
Bolton is already making waves, and
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
he's cleaning house, too.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, come back to North Korea. We got so many other things. Comey's interview with Brett Baer last night. Is the professor, what's his name, in Columbia?
Yeah.
Is he on the
Richmond?
payroll?
Richmond?
Is
that
he
right?
Who's that?
The professor?
Uh-huh.
Richmond?
Yeah, of Columbia. Is he on the payroll at the FBI? Is he not on the payroll? Does he work
never
there?
been on
is
the payroll.
Is he a friend? Was he at a cocktail party with 3 FBI agents so they say you're one of us?
Yeah.
Or was it like the movie? Hey, he's a good guy. He's one of us. What the hell was it? Because do you notice that Williams, whoever he may be, the professor from Columbia, became a member of the FBI at an opportune moment to us, the public, when maybe somebody said,
You know what?
If-
Maybe we ought to try to
because
make this look better.
because let's see, if we gave the memo to a colleague, it's legally not the same thing. It'd be almost like when they changed the words for Hillary Clinton so she would not face prosecution from what was the words?
Intent, right?
Intent.
There was no intent.
Yeah, with no intent, but malicious intent.
It was
whatever.
It became a.
But anyhow, they changed it when they.
Loretta Lynch changed it.
But no. Is that
what you're?
When Strzok wrote the interview, they changed the sentence because the sentence they had, and I forget what it is, had prosecution implications. That
changed it to a matter.
But they changed it to something else in there to where she couldn't be. The point is you notice this guy, because Brett Baer says to this guy, he says to Comey last night, well, Williams, your friend, you didn't disclose that to Congress. You said you got them to a friend, all right? You didn't disclose to Congress this is a fellow FBI.
Well, I didn't think it was relevant
Right.
at the time. Really?
So he said the guy was an FBI agent? I didn't...
Yeah. Tell him.
He's an unpaid special...
Yeah, he's...
there's some terminology for the guy.
And who's in HR in the FBI?
Yeah.
So they papered that over after the fact, probably.
Yeah, they probably did.
Bruce, are you implying right here on this show
that there was
for
a
the world to
conspiracy?
hear that
And the beautiful
Peter
North
Strzok,
Georgia mountains, yes.
Bruce, are you trying to paint the picture that Peter Strzok is now down in HR telling people how many vacation days they have left on the year that may have an HR slid over a personnel file? And
Yes,
backdated
I
it?
am saying that.
You
yes.
think that Peter Strzok backdated a personnel file and this guy is there and actually is that possible?
I think you nailed it. Yeah.
Oh, we always go to break on Nailed It. Let's take a brief break. We will come back. We're going to talk more about North Korea. We're going to talk about our Secretary of State. We're going to talk about, well, I don't know what really happened with Ronnie Jackson. Poor doctor. We'll be back right after these messages.